Thank you, everybody. Thank you for that very kind and informed introduction. It's great to be here at the Reagan Library. Who's going to play Clinton and Obama? And the Visiting President series? That's my question. That is, inquiring minds want to know. First of all, I feel like I was just here. I don't know, how many of you were here last year? Oh, good. I didn't offend you that much. You came back for more. It is great to see you, and I have one question for the band. Where is Doc Severinsen? Oh, he passed away. I'm sorry. I thought he was. He's still with us, right? I mean, he is still with us. Okay, that's one of those bad jokes, really. Well, it's great to see you. Thank you for being here. I get the kids who are like 16. I have no idea what that lady's talking about. Doc Severinsen. What is that? It is wonderful to be here. The Nixon Library is, and Raymond Arroyo, my collaborator in literary crime here, and I were talking about the stops that we make across the United States. And, you know, we have the great privilege of visiting so many people in our great country. And without a doubt, the Nixon Library just knows how to do it right on an event, knows how to organize it, knows how to promote it. Like, the trains always run on time. Everybody's incredibly professional. So when I had the chance to come back here, I said, I was like, duh, of course I'm coming back. There's great people. So thank you so much to all of you who made this day possible. And I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get going on Of Thee I Zing. Barbara Boxer wanted to be here tonight. I know. She had a previous engagement, wrecking our economy. Very tied up. And Nancy Pelosi also sends her regrets. Yes, she does. But, they're at the Long Beach Convention Center. There's a Botox convention that's to die for. It is crazy there. So we try to really make this a bipartisan evening, and it's so great to be here. And Washington and the whole LA area, I know, even I say LA, all of you are like, this is Orange County, don't equate us with LA. It's like Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia doesn't want to be, known as Washington, D.C. They're two different animals. But, when I landed last night in Los Angeles, I feel like I'm kind of home, because they're both Washington and LA teeming with out-of-touch narcissists, right? Surrounded by layer upon layer upon layer of handlers, PR people, assistants, flacks, managers, and getting to the real person is actually quite difficult. And, Hollywood might get a slightly better approval rating than Congress, but I wouldn't imagine much higher. The approval rate of Congress today is about 19%. That's the average. And that's just Anthony Weiner's approval rating. What part of private parts didn't he understand? Private, okay? Oh my goodness. How is that a courting ritual? This is just insane. The public today, right? You just mentioned that word. Disgusted, dissatisfied, and cynical about what's happened with our political system, what's happened with our government. And I think to myself, okay, that's fine. We can be upset. We can be frustrated, right? We can be cynical. We can be, even, on our worst days, really pessimistic about where the country's going. But we have to remember this. We have to remember that these politicians who are in Washington now, the ones that we're especially really annoyed with, they rise out of the culture. They're products of our educational system. They're products of our public schools often, and our private schools. And they ingested the same pop culture and culture that we see all around us. So it's important for us, and all of you, how many people in this room watch Fox? How many people watch MSNBC? Leave. You? The tie-dye shirt and the floppy skirt, out. I'm just teasing you. That's an old Don Rickles line. So you guys watch Fox. You're tuned into kind of what's happening politically, the debt ceiling debate. It can get kind of arcane, but you kind of know what's going on. At times, we have to step back from it to really take stock of where we are in this process, this political process, our country's history. It's hard to do that, right? Because especially with the daily onslaught of news and information, it's sometimes hard to just assess, okay, what's happened? Why are we all so dissatisfied? Why are we cratering on the brink of economic collapse? How did we get here? I wrote this book of the Zing, America's Cultural Decline from Muffin Tops to Body Shots. By the way, the man in the back of the boat is sitting right here with a terrified look on his face. Raymond Arroyo, which I think is the best part of the cover. The whites of his eyes, I mean, you could light up the entire city of Los Angeles with. He's so afraid. That's the fear in his eyes, metaphorically speaking, of course. Washington's crossing the Delaware. You don't know what challenges lie ahead for a new country, but you know there are going to be hurdles, you know there are going to be obstacles, you know there's going to be a lot of hard work to get there. And so there's trepidation, yet there's hope at the same time. I wrote this book because I think the summer of recovery is something we all have to recover from. I have a great joke for you, and before we get into the book, I just want to say it. Joe Biden. That's it.